Okay, so today we're gonna try to set up the ST50 for 120 hertz. I believe I found a way to do it, which I will explain later at the end of the video. So what I noticed is you need to make sure that the television, television here in front of me is the Panasonic ST50. It's a 50-inch, so it's model TC-P50ST50. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So it's a plasma 3D TV. So make sure that you turn it on first until it says like no signal, something like that. It would mention. So no signal, ensure that the external device is turned on and properly connected to the TV's input. Select the source by pressing input on the remote. So I do find that I get more success when doing this, turning on the television first. I believe it has something to do with the computer kind of communicating with the television as it starts. So now I'm gonna start the computer. I'm using an RTX 3090 by EVGA. It's a Kingpin. I got this one during the crypto market boom. So I did pay a good amount of money. I'd say pretty close to what 50-90 people are paying for their graphics card right now. But I have no desire to update because it's still good for my purposes. So now I'm gonna turn on I'm using an Alienware Area 51. It's an old school Threadripper. It's I believe it's 2950X with the Kingpin. So we're just gonna wait. It should put up shortly. I'm still using Windows 10. So right now we are running at 1080p, I believe. Let's see, hit info. Oh, right now it's 720p, custom full. But when we go here, NVIDIA control panel, then we hit change resolution. So right now we still don't have any customs. So if I go here, display settings, just to make sure, which is weird because right now we are at 1920 by 1080p. Right, and when you hit advanced display, the desktop resolution, which is showing in here, let's zoom that in. It's really weird. Desktop resolution is at 1920 by 1080, but the active signal resolution is at 1220 by 720p, and it's a 60 hertz, 12-bit RGB, and then SDR. So in here, there's still no option for a 120. I'm gonna close that. So the way I figured this out is you would need you would need to make custom resolution, but you need to start as 720p. I had higher success doing this. So we do it that way. So you hit yes. So right now we're at 720p, 1280 by 720. So it's quite huge right now. When you hit display and then advanced display, So now it's 1280 by 720. Active signal resolution is the same, and it's at 60 Hz. So we're gonna close that again. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show to you guys this one here. See the display? It's a Panasonic TV. Oh, I don't know why it says that, but it says TVO. Alright, just to be sure. So now we're gonna out of it. Okay, we go to control panel. Then we fix the white balance there. There's a little bluish. So control panel. Now we hit customize. And from what I recall, I had this checked by default. So I just leave it like that and then create custom resolution. If you would notice on top, it would mention 120 horizontal pixels, 120 over 80, vertical line 720. In here, so right now it's at 60. Okay, so it's now 60. So now I'm gonna put it as 120. So now I'm gonna do 120 and then hit test. I'm gonna hit test and see what happens. So it says here, do you want to save resolution? I hit yes. So now it's included in the custom resolutions. So now I want to create another one, but instead of hitting create, I would just go here and then edit this as 1920 by 1080p by 1080, and then I'm sure if you could see it there. So that's what I did. I think that's 1080p, right? It's 1920 by 1080, and refresh rate is still 120. And then when I hit test, it's gonna go in. All right, so that's how it looks like. You just hit yes before you run out of time. So there you go. Oh wait. Huh. I should have hit OK. Okay, let's hit OK with that one. Hit OK. No, wait a minute. So we do 720p. We're gonna try that again. I'm gonna try that. Apply. We're gonna go back to 720p. 1080 progressive is still there. I should have hit save. I should have done that. So now I'm gonna edit 1280 by 720p by 720p. I'm gonna hit test. Okay, so hit yes. Let's see if it's gonna create. Oh no, it's not creating anything. Let me hit OK. Hit OK. And then I'm just gonna make another one. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna make another one. So hit apply. So right now we're at 1280 by 720p progressive. And if I'm gonna do customize again, I'm gonna do this. Create custom resolution and then 1920 by 1080. And then we hit test. Should be okay. So yes. So now there's two resolutions. So when you go down here, you gotta hit OK. So on customs, you have the 1080p progressive. As you can see, it's 120 Hz. And then a 1280 at 720 progressive, 120 Hz. So just to recap, first you need to be on 720p in this resolution, and then you hit apply, and then afterwards you do that, right? And then afterwards you create a custom resolution by doing by making 1280 by 720 at 120 Hz first. Basically this one here, you need to make that first. Then you hit test, and then it was my mistake, right? So, and then you're gonna do because I said a while back when you do the edit, it will create a new file for the 1920. By my mistake, stand corrected. So you're just gonna create another custom resolution while you are at the 120 Hz. While you are actively on the 720p 120 Hz. That's what I'm trying to say. So you gotta go here, you apply. So now you're now at this resolution. And to prove that, you gotta go you gotta go to display settings, and you would see it's 1280 by 720p, and on advanced you will see that you are running at 120 Hz, especially this one down here. It's 120 Hz. So that's the proof there that we're running at 120 Hz. You're gonna take a hit in the color. The color is not as good as native 1080p, but what you're getting is, like, it's a much smoother, I could say it's almost like CRT like, and the color's a little bit blown in here, so that's not an accurate representation of what I see. So I did adjust the white balance to be at least as close as what I see it, but it's really hard. Anyway, so now we're down here, so we're gonna go to NVIDIA control panel. So once you've done that, and then that's the time you will create the 1920 by 1080p, this one here. Then you hit test. If it goes through, then it means that it's okay. Alright, so just a recap. I'm gonna go back here. We're gonna delete just to prove the reproducibility of the outcome, because I messed up a little bit a while back. So that's our television. It's a Panasonic. It's being identified as Panasonic TV0. So first you go as first you go here. First you have to be at 720p. So hit apply. And then go to customize. We're gonna delete this, okay? So that I could show you how to do it again. And then just hit okay. So right now we got no more custom resolution. So the first thing you do is you have to be at 720p. So now we're at 720p. Go here, display settings. Go 80 by 720p. See that, 1280 by 720p. And then advanced displays, we're showing 1280 by 720p at 12-bit. There are no options here for 120 Hz. Okay, now we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go here and then create custom. You hit customize, and then just make sure this is checked, because it enables resolutions that are exposed by the display. So create resolution, and then you type in 120 Hz. Then you hit test. It should be okay. See, test successful. Custom resolution 720p at 120 Hz has been applied. So you hit yes before you run out of time, and then you hit OK. So now you have to use that custom resolution. Okay, you hit that, then you hit apply. Do that, and then you hit apply. And then you're gonna confirm the changes. And at this moment, you would notice that the color depth has been reduced from 12 to 8. There's nothing we can do about that. And then while you're on this resolution, you gotta hit customize again, and then you're gonna create a custom resolution. This time it's 1920 by 1080, which is what 1080p is. And make sure it's still 120, and then you go down here, hit test, and then you hit yes. So now we go here, and we're gonna try and be a 1080p instead of 720p because the texts are much better and the graphics will be better. So now if we go here, we go display settings, and then we check on advanced display just to show you we're at 1920 by 1080. It's not very clear here, but it is what it is. And then advanced display settings, we still have Panasonic there. It's the television. It's Panasonic, and then 1920 by 1080, which is weird because the active signal resolution is 1280 by 720, but the desktop resolution is 1920 by 1080. But the good news is it's at 120 Hz. Alright, so that's what it is. And also you would notice that currently this one right now is when you hit the info on your remote. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me focus that. The info button, this one here, it will tell you that you are at 720p. I'm on game mode right now, and then it says 3D. Alright, but if you also hit like this one here from 2D, you would still be at 120 Hz. See, the thing with the 2D option, if you like, because it automatically goes to 3D, but if you chose 2D, the colors will look better, but it wouldn't be as smooth. See, that's the 3D right now, and this is the 2D. So it has more warmth in my eyes is what I'm getting at. It's hard to portray it on the video right now, but in person you just gotta take my word for it. So on the video it doesn't look as bad as what I see in person. Okay, so another thing I would like to show is, so right now it's at 3D, right? I prefer it's in 3D. Another thing I would like to show is, you know how like you do the 3D mode for those that owns the premium line of the Panasonic, you know, from VT20 all the way up to ZT60, that when you hit the 3D, it will have like a double vision, like a double image, I would say. So just to show you that, because right now I'm on 3D mode, right? I'm on 3D mode and I don't get that double imaging. That's what I'm trying to get at. But I will show you what it looks like on native 1080p. So if we do that, go to native, apply, hit yes, So I'm not sure if you will be able to see it. Like when I hit this one here, I hit 3D. Yeah, up close, you will notice a double imaging, like in here, like the Google. There's double image on the Google. Like just look at this one here. It's double image, the back and forward button. And if I disable it, you're back to normal. Alright, so my theory is somehow instead of being like a double image kind of thing that's happening when the graphics card utilizes the 3D to do the 120 Hz refresh rate, it's just like overlapping, like you don't even see it. Again, I'm gonna, let me just adjust the exposure here a little bit darker. So when I hit 3D, it doubles, which you don't see when I do the change in resolution to the proper ones, the ones that I made a custom resolution out of it. Alright, so let's disable that. Back to normal. As you can see, it says 1080p. It says 1080p. It's saying 1080p full. Alright, so now let's go to, see, the colors are way better. It's much darker. So now I'm going back to changing to the one that is 120 Hertz. I like 1920. Hit apply. Yes. So now we're at 120 Hertz as shown here. As shown here, it'll be, let's see that. See, it's 1920 by 1080. 120 Hertz. 120 Hertz. And if I hit 3D, let's see if I can show you that. And when I, this is where the 3D button is. It's really hard to focus, but when I hit 3D button, right now it's at 2D because it automatically switches to 3D. See? This is not even a conversion from 2D to 3D like we saw earlier. It's just go to 3D and there's no double imaging. Like if I go to the website now, the lines, the back and forward arrow, there's no double imaging. So I believe that's how it's utilizing the 120 Hz feature of this television. So now next would be, we're gonna go to Blur Busters. Everybody knows about this. And we hit that one. And it should show like the frame rate right now. It's at 120 FPS. It's still trying to sync. Sometimes it would fail, so it would require like multiple tries. We hit none, for example. Just gonna wait a little bit. Maybe I'll try to hit refresh. So now it's working. So it's showing it's 120 Hertz. Okay. Like now in person, this really looks smooth. The one on the 120 FPS. And you could see the 30 FPS is more like really jittery or juddery, and the 60 FPS is doing fine at 960 pixels per second. But once you increase the speed to, let's say, 1920 pixels per second, you could see there's more like judder on the 60 FPS now. I'm not sure if you could see it. Also, I gotta take a note that my camera is only capable of capturing 60 frames per second. I'm using Pixel 7 Pro, So the 120 FPS might not look as good as what I see in person, but I can tell you it's so much smoother, and I can still make out the image of the UFO. Yeah. So now, just to prove that I'm not, I'm not making this all up, or like making like a fake thing, I could switch it back to 1080p. Just notice this, okay? If it's not truly 120 Hz right now, which is what's going on, then it wouldn't even show you the 120 frames per second part. It will only give you 60 and 30. So maybe that's where we're gonna play. We're gonna switch to native 1080p. Hit apply. So now we're at 1080p native. Go back here, go back to the UFO test. We're gonna hit refresh because we changed. So now where are we at? So now it's only giving us the option for 60 frames per second, 30 FPS, and 15 FPS. There's no 120. And if you hit info, it's now a 1080p custom full. Look what happens when I hit 3D. You get the double imaging. Gotta zoom in. That's what you're getting. Alright, so now let's go back to disable the 3D there. Just the 2D. And we go back to doing 1920 by 1080. Hit apply. And hit yes. So now it's in effect. Alright. Okay, no magics going on here. It's the real deal. So like a plasma on 120 Hz is really something else. I've played a few games already, and it feels like it brought me back where I was playing Counter-Strike on a compact CRT monitor. Back in the day, I had the latest when I was younger. I have Pentium 2. It was Pentium 2 days, and it was great. It was so smooth. So I will be uploading a video about a gameplay. I would do Counter-Strike, although I've also confirmed it works with what's this, Call of Duty. I tried Black Ops 6, and it gives you the option to change to 120 Hz. The reason why I chose Counter-Strike as a demo is like any computer could run that at this point. Like anything. Even like GTX 980, it could run, I think. I'm not sure, but I have to try it out. But 3090 right now is for sure is capable. And with Call of Duty, I was able to run up to 146 frames per second, even at 120 Hz. And I have a video to prove that. I will be uploading it soon. What else? Yeah, so we're gonna go back to Blur Buster. So right now we're at 120 Hz. By the way, the 1280p is just as good, but I will also make a video that will be included in here. So we're gonna hit refresh because this was from the previous 60 frames per second, but now it did itself, like it corrected itself in real time. I just hate the stars. Why do we do that? There. Let's just wait. This is failure. Maybe because the plasma is too fast. Like the ST50 has a 2500 focus field drive. I don't think that really matters, but right now I can tell you it's helping with the blur. And I'm gonna show you later with with the DOTA panning test, DOTA 2, it does really help. I could actually read the titles of the characters in person, which is really hard to capture in camera. Come on now. Yeah, 30 FPS, like even Plasma can't do much about it. But at least it's a smoother experience based on what I'm seeing in person. There's just more jitter, but the flow is still really smooth regardless. I don't know how to fix this sync failure. Let's try 19 a little bit faster, like this one I might be able to fix. Yeah, in here in person it feels like, I mean, to me, I can see that the 120 frames per second row is kind of like ahead the 60 frames per second. So like if they're on a race, or like if you imagine like they're in a race, this one here is in the first place. That's how much clarity I'm getting. But I don't know why I cannot read, but you've seen it a while back. Now let's try faster. 1920. Still, I can make out what the UFO and the alien is. Not up close. You see, now it's ready. But like I've said, if this were a race, 120 FPS is in the lead. So now I like you know, they explain sometimes like the winning edge about purchasing a 120 hertz or higher hertz monitor is, I believe it's because of this. Like you could see, like when you play Counter-Strike, you could see the head of the opponent first and pull the trigger. Then you could pull the trigger on him because you haven't seen his head yet, but he already saw your head to do the headshot. That's my take. Anyway, let's go to the RTS panning test. So right now, this one is set up for 30 frames per second. Frame rate 30 per second. It's a slight stutter. Why don't we make it perfect? This one's a little bit fast right now. We're gonna do a 960. Alright. So this one here, the 30 frames per second looks really jittery. Okay, and you can't make out the names at all. But in here, I can read the names of the characters, some of them. Let's try. So that's Juggernaut, Lion, Vengeful Spirit, Juggernaut, Lion, Vengeful. What was that? Dragon Knight, Hunter, Tide Hunter. See, I can read it in full clarity. So now we increase it to 60 frames per second. So now it got in a little bit smoother, right? See, I forgot to show you that it's running, what hertz is it running in here. But it might just give us that failed reading again, but I can guarantee it's not failed. Okay. But anyway, here, no, I cannot read it. In here, it's blurry. If I don't know who the characters are, I wouldn't be able to know what it is. Like, see, Dragon Knight. I see Dragon Knight here. Snapper? Is that Snapper? Sniper? Dragon Knight. Slapper? Dragon Knight? Yeah, I don't know. But down here, I can read it. Juggernaut, Lion, Vengeful Spirit, Juggernaut, Dragon Knight, Tide Hunter. See what I mean? See, it's 120 hertz. How about we try like really fast? At this point, they're almost about the same. It's too fast. So 1920 is where it at. Where's it at? Where it's at? 19 pixels per second. So I will be uploading a gameplay video of it. See, at 2D, you would notice it stutters. It can be captured in the video. It's like every 1 second it would stutter. And it's still at 120 Hz. If you hit info, it's still at 720p. And if we go to, how do we get out of here? Go to display settings, it will still tell you it's 120 Hz. So for this to work, it really has to use the 3D feature, which makes sense. Another thing I want to point about is, I think since it's using the 3D feature, that it will overwork the panel more than 2D. It's gonna warm it up, although I don't have any measurements about that. I will make some measurements for it in comparison with just 3D. So I would say I wouldn't recommend to use this like on a regular basis, just like if you feel like to, or just make sure you're in a well, you know, like your room is have an air conditioner like I have right now. Our house is like maintained at 20 degrees Celsius. We have HVAC, which is really good. But I think like for me, I feel like I'm tempted to put like a fan in front of the panel to cool it down, just so it doesn't overheat. But I don't have any overheating issues right now with this with any of the plasma I own. They're all good to me. So yeah, so I hope you liked the video. By the way, I forgot to mention how I did this is I use a unidirectional display port to HDMI. So the one I use is like the one I bought is from Prime Cables. I will be linking it's something I just bought at Amazon, I think, and it's a display port 1.2 to HDMI something. I don't know what version of HDMI it is. It's probably 1.4 because these are 1.4. This plasma are 1.4, so I don't think it matters what kind of HDMI as long as it's 1.4 and up, because they are technically able to carry 3D signals. Because that's how you watch, you know, like 3D movies with what the PlayStation 3 or any 3D capable Blu-rays. So that's my theory. So it's utilizing the 3D feature to like interpolate frames. Interpolate is not a proper term, but like it, instead of being an interpolation, it's actually displaying an actual frame, except it's only on 720p. I've tried everything. I can't make it work to 1080p as the active signal or something like that I showed you. And at one point I was able to do DSR in combination with 120 Hz, which is really weird. I lost it because I keep on experimenting what else I can do, and then eventually I lost it. But I did make a video of it that I was playing on a downsampled 4K at 120 Hz, and it was Call of Duty Black Ops when I did that. Another thing too, this only worked on a specific firmware. It was NVIDIA 566 point something. I will share that later on in a separate video. Because what happened when I updated it updated to 577, I lost all my 120 Hz custom resolutions. I tried everything, but I haven't really tried it again with this procedure that I found out. I'm gonna try it with another computer I have. I have another 3090, and when I updated it, I lost all my custom resolution, including the 4K DSR at 120 Hz, and I wasn't able to activate any at all. So what I did, I uninstalled the driver, update the 577. I downloaded 566, and then voila, it came back. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stay at 566 to take advantage of the. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say it's CRT like. It is CRT motion, is what I can say. You'd be surprised, like when I upload that video with Counter-Strike at 120 Hz, it's so smooth that it really brought me back to when I was playing Counter-Strike during Pentium 2 days till today.